the most important topic, the most asked question that I get. All the people that I coach away from self-sabotage and into self-mastery, this is the number one thing. Fear is one of the biggest things that's gonna hold you back from creating the reality that you want, from being the person you wanna be. Everything you desire, it's always gonna be fear that's gonna stop you. Now, this is something I studied obsessively throughout my whole youth. From a young boy who wanted to become a professional footballer and play in the Premier League, which I achieved, but through that journey, fear was the biggest thing that held me back, and I had to fight it every single day, like non-stop. It never had a day off. So you can't have a day off. But in order to even fight it on a day-to-day basis, you have to understand it. You have to understand what it is. You have to understand how to overcome it. Very similar to just my last video about overcoming self-sabotage. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. It gives you the very basics of how to overcome the negativity in your mind. But fear specifically, we're gonna talk about fear specifically. Now, like, throughout my career, when I was a footballer, and I used to fear failure, and I used to fear performance and not playing well, or fear getting injured. Fear is such a strong emotion. That's why people say, whatever you fear, you become. You are what you fear, because it's such a strong emotion that people get so tied into it that it manifests everything, because that's how you manifest. You manifest by giving an idea, all your emotion, all your thoughts. Because when you fear something, what do? All you do is think about it, and all you can do is feel what that feels like if it happened. So that's how you manifest. Which is, instead of being scary, it should actually be quite liberating when you really understand it. Because if you know that you can create everything you fear, think about all the things in your life that you feared and how many of them have actually come true. The fears that are strong fears, like that's all you thought about, it's all you worried about, and they came true. Doesn't that always happen? Always happened to me. But it's liberating, because if you understand that, okay, people ask, how do you manifest things you want? How to create what you want? You're doing it right now. Like everything in your life that you've created, that's happened in your life, you did create that. But people think that they only create the positive stuff in their life. Like all the positive stuff in their life, they're like, yeah, I did that. I sacrificed that. I did all the hard work to get there. But then they disown all the negative shit that happens in their life as if they didn't create it. But you did create it. You created it by obsessing about it, by fearing it, by putting all your emotions, all your mental beliefs into that direction. So it happened, because that's how you manifest. That's how you create something. So if you understand that, then what do you have to do? You just have to flip it around. Like creating the life you want, self-mastery, self-sabotage, creating the life that you don't want. It's all about attention, where your attention goes, where your focus and belief systems go. Whichever one you believe in the most is the one that's gonna happen. Whichever one you feed the most is what's gonna be your reality. So if you feed fear, whatever you fear, the idea of what you're fearing, that's what's gonna be your reality. If all your focus goes into faith, in the direction where you want to go, all the things that you want to be, all the things that you want to do and create, then that's what's going to be your reality. So we learn from growing up, whether it be from our parents, the people around us, our teachers, we've learned how to focus on all the things that we don't prefer, all the things that we fear, all the things that we don't want to happen. So we've learned that we've lived life through a lens of people that only saw fear and only saw doubt. So how could you create anything different? Now, the change happens, your life will change, your environment will change, your circumstances will change once you start shifting your attention and your focus. And that's your physical work that you do, that's the mental belief systems you have, and that's the emotions that you feel. When you start changing the focus from fear and doubt and anxiety and worry over to here, faith, belief, self-worth, that's when you start creating your reality based off that. So that's how we're really gonna overcome fear. You're gonna overcome fear by stop fucking focusing on it. Stop believing in it so much. Like, imagine this. Imagine let's say being a footballer. Now you relate this to anything in your life, whatever you want it to be, you choose. This is just an example. This is what my journey was like. So becoming a footballer. And over here is becoming like, we're gonna call it a bum. Like a loser, like out of shape, overweight, broke, no relationships, like just everything you don't wanna be. Now the only thing that's gonna dictate which one you become is where you put your focus, where you put your physical activities Like what do you do on a physical level? What work do you do, or what work do you not do? Where you put your mental belief systems. What one do you believe about yourself? Do you believe you're a bum? Do you believe that you're a professional athlete? And your emotions. What emotions do you feel? What emotions are aligned with being a footballer? Gratitude, achievement, those kind of emotions. What would you feel here? Laziness, unmotivated. So whichever one you focus on, whichever emotions and thoughts you adopt every single day, we're habitual beings. Meaning whatever we do habitually, whatever we do the most predominantly out of habits, is what we create, is who we become. So I want to ask you a question. This is how you really overcome fear. This is how you really overcome it. And you start understanding that fear is just an option. It's just a choice that you're choosing to do every single day. It's just an idea that you're choosing to believe in, where you could just equally decide to believe in the other side, in complete faith. But by the end of this video, there's one important thing that's going to really help you overcome fear. Like, you're going to understand this, but this is just going to give you a basic understanding. It's not going to fully tell you, okay, how do I stop feeling fear? How do I really overcome it in the moment? That is what we're going to touch on after, so make sure you stay to the end. So we've got two ideas: becoming a professional athlete or becoming a bum. Now let me ask you a question. If this was your goal, let's say you actually wanted to be a bum. Like this was your goal, your full-on goal. You wanted to be it. Like this is you aspire to be a bum. So you're like, all right, how can I do it? How can I get there? If I told you that you're never going to go to the gym, like don't ever go to the gym. Watch all the Netflix box series that you possibly can. Eat as much junk food as you can. Like never socialize. Anything just like out of laziness, whatever you feel like doing, I want you to just do it. Like just live a lazy life. Do anything you want to do, but you're not allowed to do anything that's like what we would call beneficial. Go to the gym, go socializing, like nothing. Just stay at home, be a bum. How confident are you that if you did that for a long enough period of time, if you did that for a year, 2 years, 3 years, how certain are you that you would become a bum? You'd be out of shape, you'd have no money because you haven't gone gym, you've ate whatever you wanted to eat, you haven't done any work, you don't do no work, you literally just chill at home and be a bum. How certain are you that you would become one? You would be 100% sure. You'd be a fact, guaranteed. You'd be like, yeah, obviously, if I did that, obviously, I'm gonna become a bum, I'm gonna become overweight, I'm gonna become out of shape, obviously. Cool. So then, and again, remember, this is just a footballer by example. You choose. Gonna sneeze.
You?
No, I'm not. I was gonna sneeze. I'm doing this video while I'm ill, just for you guys. I was gonna sack it off. I thought, nah, fuck it. You don't need me. So, footballer, business owner, whatever it is that you want to achieve. If I told you that every single day, well, we're gonna use being a footballer. We're gonna use this. If I told you that every single day you're gonna get up early, you're gonna train. You're gonna go on the pitch and train, you're gonna go to the gym and train, you're gonna stick to this nutrition plan and only eat healthy foods. No processed foods, no sugar, no nothing, none of that bullshit. You're just gonna eat healthy and clean. And you're gonna believe in yourself every day. You're gonna give yourself evidence of why you can become it through your training, through your discipline. That you're gonna do everything that it takes to get here, to become a footballer. Training every day, eating well, studying the game, going to football matches, watching football matches, just create an environment with yourself, with other footballers, other successful footballers, other coaches, other managers, and you're gonna do that for like 4, 5, 6, 7 years straight. How confident are you that you would become a footballer? And I bet you that it's not guaranteed in your mind. I hope you're enjoying the video. The fact that you're here shows me that you're into self-development. You want to become the best version of yourself. You want to overcome all your insecurities, all your problems, and you want to reach the highest version of you to create the life that you want. So I'm here for you. This is what I do. If you guys need any questions answered, you need me at all, the best place to contact me is on Instagram, DM me on Insta. I get back to all the questions, all the requests, and I will answer you always. This is what I do, this is what I live for. So hit me up and let's do this. How sure would you be that you would get to your outcome? It wouldn't be 100%, but it should be 100%. Because it's as certain as it is doing all those things would lead to here. The only problem is, the only right people just choose this. They would understand this one, but not this one. It's because we've been programmed all our lives to choose what we don't prefer, to believe in what we don't prefer. You guys have to understand, when you fear, you feel like you fear, you feel like you lack belief in your journey, you feel like you lack belief in this outcome that you want, but you never ever lack belief. Understand that. You never lack faith and you never lack belief. Your belief and your faith and your confidence is just flowed into the wrong areas. You flow it into the outcome that you don't want. So, footballer or bum, when you feel like you're not going to become a footballer, like you don't have the belief, you don't have the faith and the confidence, you don't lack the faith and the confidence, you just misplace it into the other area. Because you have full confidence in failure. You have full confidence in being a bum. So your confidence is just there. So it's always there, but you just flow it into the wrong areas. But what's the difference? Because if you've done everything you're supposed to do every single day, and you believed in yourself as much as you could every single day, all your thoughts and your emotions and your physical habits were aligned to becoming a footballer, you would be one 100%. I don't care what anyone says. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed. But we just don't believe in it because we've been trained to only fully believe in the things that we don't want, to side with the things that we don't want. But it's as easy and as simple as you just deciding every single day that you're gonna choose to focus on the vision you have and it working out. That's where you sabotage. That's how you give into fear. That's how fear beats you, is when you believe in the outcomes that you don't want. You can choose, you can decide, you can choose to change the lens. That right now you perceived life through a lens of someone that only saw fear and doubt. But now you're older, now you're more grown up, now you're more conscious. Now you can change the lens to be like, no, I'm only going to decide to look through the lens of faith, through the lens of confidence in this direction, through the lens of self-belief that it's just absolutely going to work out. And if you stay on that frequency and you stay living aligned to that blueprint, it's only a matter of time, then it's guaranteed. But can you just keep that frequency up and not allow fear to bring it back down and start living there again and start living through that lens again? So how do you do that? Because like I said in my last video, that negativity and fear and doubt is just part of our identity as humans. It's part of our nature. So we can't ever overcome fear. So that's why I call it beat fear, because you can't overcome it. You can never really fully overcome it. You can only beat it in every single moment. Whenever it decides to come, you beat it. So now we're going to talk about how to beat it. Because we understand that it's just a part of us and it's going to be there every single day and you should expect it every single day. But you need to be able to beat it every single day. So how do we do that? Firstly, you have to understand that fear is just an emotion. And fear only happens when you're in a certain frequency. You have to be in a certain frequency in order to feel fear. You have to be in a low frequency state. I'm gonna put a picture of a frequency chart. Or you can see like fear is near the bottom. So in order to start really understanding reality and life and how we operate, you have to start thinking of everything in terms of frequencies. So whenever you're in a low frequency state, that's where fear is. That's when you'll feel fear. Whenever you fear, whenever you feel that, you are in a low frequency state. So if you don't want to feel fear, and if you want to beat it, through the law of polarity, you want to go from low frequency state to high frequency state. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you gone through a day where at some point in that day, you felt the worst, like your outlook on life was the worst? You believed like nothing was gonna work out. You feared everything. You feared you're not good enough, that the business ain't gonna work out, your job's not gonna work out. Like you had the weight of the world on your shoulders and nothing ever felt like it was gonna work out. I had that so many times. I still do sometimes wake up. Well, I wake up in that state. Naturally, that's just how I wake up in that state. Whatever I'm doing, when I went for my career as a footballer, I'm like, I'm not gonna make it, or I'm gonna lose it, or I'm gonna get injured. or I'm not good enough. Like, I'll go through that without really knowing why that is. Why am I like that? How do I overcome it? How do I get out of that? But then also, how many times has that flipped? Where at one point you felt that, then at the next point you felt like, no, hold on, I'm the best. I can achieve anything. I can do anything. Everything feels amazing. Like, I just know fully I'm gonna achieve it. Now, the only difference, none of it's true. None of it's real or false, because it hasn't happened yet. You haven't achieved that yet, and you haven't failed yet. So it's not true. So why did the fear feel so real? Why did the faith and the self-belief feel so real? It's just because the frequency that you was in. So if we're talking about frequencies, high frequency here, high, low, say fear's here, and let's say joy is here. Let's say joy is here. Now confidence ain't gonna be on the chart, but just to give you guys an understanding, oh, let's say faith. Faith ain't even on there either, but you understand that emotion of what faith is, that belief, just believe it. That's the opposite of fear. Fear is like, I'm scared of everything, nothing's gonna work out. Faith is like, I have belief. Even though I can't see it, I have belief. Fear, you can't see fear. It's false evidence appearing real. You can't see it, it's not true yet. And neither is faith, because you can't see it, it's the unseen. So when you're in a high frequency state, you will feel this. You will have the best outlook in your life. Everything will feel great. You'll believe in it, 100%. Because your focus and your attention is in faith, because you're in high frequency. When you're in low frequency, your perception will change. So imagine it's like two different universes. And every time you change frequency, you jump from different universes. So in this universe, you're like fearful, your life's shit, everything's going wrong. And then when you change states, you jump over to a new universe where this version of you is like the best, can achieve everything, full belief in itself, has all the results that it wants, has all the outcomes. You need to just remain in this universe as much as you possibly can. And we'll show you how to do that. Now, there's certain things that you can do that put you into high frequency states. This is the shit I wish I learned when I was going through it. Like, honestly, you guys need to believe that. So understand frequencies. Understand when everything feels amazing, when you feel confident, you're in high frequency. When you feel like shit, when you feel like nothing's working out for you, you're in low frequency, and you need to just change states, change the weather. When it's raining, you have the power to change the weather to sunny. It's like a radio station with songs that you don't like and they're shit and they hurt your ears, and you change the station to a radio station that you like the sound of, like the music that you like. You have that power. You have to start understanding that you're not a victim to all these emotions, and you can change them. You can control them. That's what self-mastery is. Mastering your emotions. Knowing the tools of how to do that. Now I'm going to give you a few. One of the best ways to change your state is fitness, is by training. Now understand this. Everyone understands this. How good do you feel when you've trained hard? You've been to the gym and you train hard and you leave the gym. Talk to me about the state that you're in that moment. How much you believe in yourself. How amazing you feel like your life is. How grateful you are. That's in a high frequency state. Fitness always throws you into a high frequency state. When have you ever been in the gym and just felt like your life is the worst? You're just training. It flips your frequency. So whenever I get into low frequency, I know fitness will just lift me back up. And I'll leave feeling amazing again. I'll believe in myself again. So all the habits that are productive, that your conscience tells you is good and that you're supposed to do. So even like waking up early will put you in a higher frequency state. Sleeping in will put you in a low frequency state because you just slept in. That's not productive. So you feel shit about it. So if you look at the frequency chart that I put up, what was at the bottom? It was shame. It was guilt. So whatever habits, whatever you do that puts you in this state, that makes you feel shame or makes you feel guilt, so waking up early when you know you're supposed to get up, it makes you feel lazy, unproductive, so it'll put you into a state of shame and guilt. When you miss a gym session, it will put you into a state of shame and guilt. You're like, fuck, I should have went gym. Why didn't I go gym? Whenever you break the promise to yourself, it puts you in a state of fear, puts you in a state of shame and guilt. That's not where you want to be, because what follows that? When you get into a low frequency state, you start receiving other low frequency states like fear. So if you go into a state of shame and guilt because you didn't do certain things, or you did something that you wasn't supposed to do, you're gonna go to shame and guilt. And when you go to shame and guilt, you open the gateway for more negative emotions like fear. But when you train, when you wake up early, when you train, you go to high frequency state. That opens up the gateway for more high frequency states. So now you start feeling confident. Now you start being productive. How many times have you like woke up and had the perfect morning process and just felt so productive? And because you woke up early, you went to the gym. Because you went to the gym, you ate clean. And because you woke up early, went to the gym and ate clean, then you started feeling productive and started doing all the work you're supposed to do. Because now you're operating as your highest self. So down here, you operate as your lower self. It's the lower version of you. It's the shit version of you. It's the one that just wants to create destruction and be average or below average. Up here is where your higher self operates. So that's how you beat fear. That's how you overcome fear, by being your highest self, living in alignment to your higher self, so you get into a high frequency state. Fear cannot exist up here. Fear exists down here. That's where fear is. Fear can't exist up here. It's impossible. It's universally impossible. So you raise your frequency, fear disappears. And you do that through fitness. Fitness is one of the best ways, the quickest way to just change your state. So we're gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video next on creating your highest self. Because the way to overcome fear and get into a high frequency state is to live in alignment to your higher self. So when I say your higher self, it's just the person in your mind that does everything that it's supposed to do. Like it's the person that you exactly want to be. So a lot of times you guys will think like, I wish I was more sociable. I wish I was more extroverted. I wish I could wake up early. I wish I could take more risks. I wish I could be an entrepreneur. Like that vision in your head, that is God telling you who you're supposed to be. So when you live in an alignment to that, you get rewarded. When you live in an alignment to that person that God wants you to be, He rewards you with high frequency states, with confidence, with belief. When you ignore that voice and you live in an alignment to your lower self, who the devil wants you to be, then you get punished for it. Then you operate from fear. You operate from guilt, from shame, through pain and suffering. So that's what you have to do. You have to change your frequency. And there's more to it. Fitness is just the number one. I don't want to go through all the ways to jump up to high frequency, but fitness is the number one. That's why everyone has to train. Everyone should be in shape. Because fitness is the most important, and how you present yourself physically is so important, because that can never leave you. It follows you everywhere. So at any moment, if you're out of shape, at any moment, you can get put into a low frequency state because of the way you look, the fact you don't like yourself. You walk past the mirror, shit, my belly looks fucking big, shit. Low frequency state, shame, guilt, because you allowed yourself to get there. And then fear follows. But if you live in an alignment to your higher self, and everyone's higher self is in shape with a six pack, and you walk past the mirror and you see a six pack, it's gonna throw you into a high frequency state. You're gonna be like, oh shit, look at the way I look. Yeah, I look good. Like confidence. So what's that gonna do? It's gonna open up the gateway to more high frequency states. Belief in yourself. The fact that you've proved to yourself that you're disciplined enough to get into good shape. So it's all about frequencies. Never ever, this is very important, I want you to write this down, this is so important, this will literally save lives. Do not define your life in low frequency states. You have a choice. You have a choice when to decide how your life looks, how your life is gonna pan out. You have a choice when you wanna plan your life. Never plan it in low frequency states, because you will only see problems. You will only see the shittest version of your life. And that isn't real, because that's not where God is. How could it be real? God is up here, higher frequency. So you only define your life. You only start planning your life and really defining it when you're in high frequency states, when you can see the clearest, when you've got the most positive head on. That's when you do it. So if you're in a low frequency state, just don't even think. It's not even worth it, because them thoughts are never going to be constructive. They're never going to be of any use. They're only going to be problems. So you have to elevate yourself first. Go to the gym, go for a walk, go speak to people, go be sociable. All the things that throw you into a high frequency state, I just gave you a few there. All those things that put you into a high frequency state, you will then be able to think better, think more clearly, have a positive outlook on life, understand what move you're supposed to make next. But don't do that in low frequency states. It's pointless. You will just ruin your life, you'll destruct your life. That's how you overcome fear, by changing your frequencies, like you changed the channel if you didn't like it. So get to work. If you're not fit, if you ain't training, start training. That's the number one key to overcoming fear to overcome self-sabotage, firstly and foremost, get yourself in shape. 99% of your problems will perish.
Area code is +71. It's a Dubai number. So guys, look forward to hearing from you.